Let us solve the exercise number 6 in the part A of the Java lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to write a program to take care of a number format exception. So what is that we are supposed to do is we are supposed to get the name of the student, marks in three subjects of n different students. So we have to take the name and the marks in three subjects for n students, and then we are supposed to calculate their average marks. And during this process, if the marks entered is not a numeric one, then we are supposed to raise a number format exception. So this is what we are supposed to do. So we are supposed to take the name of the student and the marks in three subjects for n different students. And while entering the marks, if there is an exception in the format, then we have to say number format exception. Also, we are supposed to create our own exception class, and that will take care of the negative values or out of range values. What do I mean by that is that if when entering the marks of the student, if the marks goes beyond this range, that means if the negative numbers are typed or if the marks are typed more than 100, then we have to raise our own exception. So let's go to the NetBeans and let's start developing this particular project. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to the file and I'm going to say file new project. I will select Java with Maven. If you don't see the word Maven here, just select Java and then select Java application. Give a proper name and I'm going to say student marks calculation. So you can say anything, marks calculation. Okay. You can give any name for that, but to see to it that you are saving at the proper location. So I'm going to go to my D drive and save it. So I'm showing you so that you also follow the same thing. Save your file at the proper location that was told by your teacher. So don't save it at anywhere and everywhere. So just save it at proper location and then finish it off. And if you look at your project here, this is your project. This was my previous project. I'm going to just minimize that one. So this is your project here. That is student marks calculation. I want to create one extra class. The reason for that is if you notice over here that they have said that we are supposed to create our own exception class. So let's create that exception class here first, and then we will go ahead with the our work. So what is the name that we can think of giving it? So I will give the name for that class as invalid marks exception because it is an exception class. So let me go to the project here. Again, if the project is not visible, go to the window and see the project option here. If you click on here, you will get this project on the right hand side. Sorry, on the left hand side. And go to the project and open this source package. If it is not open, open this source package by clicking on this arrow. Then open this package that is available. Inside this, you find this is your class on which you are working. So that's the class. So click on this package. Click on not the class, click on this package. So click on this package, right click and say new, and then select Java class. So right click, new Java class. If the Java class is not available to you, go to the other. 100% Java class will be available to you. If it is not available, go to the others and under the Java, select Java class. So you will see like this. If you click on this under Java, click on the class and next. Whether you right click and select the Java class or whether you come to this point and do it, you will definitely reach to the same location. So if I go here, right click and if I select Java class, I will come to the same location. I'm going to give the name of this particular class as you can give any name. I will give a slightly lengthy name. I'm going to call this as invalid marks x marks, let's say exception. Okay, such a long name may not be required during the examination, but let me just add it. And I'm going to just finish it off. Remember, whenever you are creating an exception class, or this class has to extend out of exception class. So I'm going to just say it will extend out of exception. So it will extend out of exception class. just press EXCP and then the control space and press enter. You get this exception class. This is extended out of exception class. I'm going to handle only the constructor here. All these things are not required. They are remark statement. Don't bother about them. You can delete them if you don't feel like or if it is annoying to you. So I want the constructor. So how do you get the constructor? You can type it. If you don't know, just press Control and space. And the first option you're going to see is to get the default constructor. So that is invalid exception controller. Press enter here and it will generate for you. Okay. But I will not use the default constructor. Instead of that, I will use the constructor with the parameter, and I'm going to pass a message to this particular constructor. And what I'm going to do is I will not use my consume the message here. I will pass this message to the super constructor, that is super class. So I'm going to pass this message to the super class. Again, my hand will go without me telling you. I always press control space and ensure that I'm typing something that is that makes sense to the Java. Okay. So whatever message I'm getting from the external user, I'm going to pass the same message to my super class, that is the constructor of the super class. This way I have created a class, and I'm going to just save this class, and I will go back to my previous class, and that is the student marks calculation. Okay, that spelling is mistake, but anyway. Uh, if you have closed this one by mistake, if you have closed this one, go to the project again. If the project is not visible, go to the window and project and just double click on this student marks calculation and it will reopen again. So if you have closed something, go here and then double click on the appropriate file and it will open out here. Okay, so let's come back to the story here. And what is that we are supposed to do is we are supposed to accept the details of n student, and that is what they have said. So where is it? Program, okay, marks of n students. So let us first get this n value first. I'm going to read this n first. In order to read this n, I will have to get the scanner class. I will read this print that is the hello world here. So first of all, I will use the scanner class SCA and control space, press enter, and I will call this variable as in, and I'm going to create a new scanner class. So again, I'm going to press enter here and I will type sy, press enter, and dot I and press enter. So I got the scanner class here. Let me create a variable n here. So I've created this variable n and I'm going to use the s out here and s out and press enter, and I'm going to say enter the total number of students, total number of student. I will make one small student. I will make one small change here, and you notice I'm putting extra space here after the colon, and I will not use this ln here. I will make this as print so that it will come on the same line, otherwise it will, the prompt will go to the next line. Okay. I will take n here and I'm going to say in is my scanner class. You know very well, in is my scanner class, and I'm going to say next int. Okay, so I have read the value of n here. Now, what are the things that I need? So the next thing that I am supposed to read is the name of the student. However, there is you might have observed this problem even in the C. See, when this prompt comes, enter the total number of the students, and when you are reading this n, what you type is suppose say you will type a number of total number of students. You are going to type 5 here, so you will type 5, and then what you are going to do is you press enter. So you press enter here after typing 5. This 5 will be taken from the input buffer and it will be stored in the n. However, this enter sign what you have typed will be still there on the buffer, will be there in the buffer, and whoever is reading next, whatever statement that is going to read it next, this enter is given for free to them. So this will create a unnecessary problem there. So what is the best option is, suppose if you are reading a number, after this if you are reading a string, for example, after this what is the next thing I'm going to read is the name of the student. So that will be string. So after reading a integer or a double or anything, In other words, after reading a numerical value, if you are reading a string value, then clear the buffer, because the buffer will contain a spare or unused enter sign in it. So you need to clear this buffer. How do you clear the buffer? You don't need to think much over here. Just call this in dot and you say next line. You just read the next line. That's it. The buffer will be cleared for you. So this is the easiest way of so just clear the buffer by reading that thing. Now, what are the things that we are supposed to read? Let's look at that one. And we are supposed to read the student name and marks in three subjects. So let me create some variable there. So I'm going to create a string variable, string name of the student, and let me say int marks 1, marks 2, and marks 3. So these will be the 3 marks so that I'm supposed to read it. And I'm going to use a for loop for going through all of them. And let me say, and I will also use one other thing, just forgot one other thing. We are supposed to calculate the average. So I'm going to just use that one also. So I'm going to use the double and AVG because I need to calculate the average, is it not? After that, let me use a for loop. So I'm going to type for I, okay, and press tab. That means we'll do the needful thing. So just type for I and press tab. So for I is equal to, I'm going to make changes over here. For I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, okay, less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So this is what I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to ask the user to do that thing. Remember, we are supposed to handle the exception. This program is all about handling the exception. So we need to take care of the exception, and you know very well. In order to take care of the exception, we are using the try catch method. So I'm going to use the try control space and just type the try and control space, press enter. It will add the try catch statement for you. Otherwise, you have to struggle and get the try catch statement. So let's start with the first one. I type yes out and press enter, and I will use one new line, and then I'm going to say enter details of student number, and I will use the value of I. So how is it going to look like? So this is going to look like enter the details of the student number 1 when I is equal to 1. Next time again it will come as enter the details of the student number 2 when I is equal to 2. So it will come like that. So enter the details of the student number 1, enter the details of the student number 2, 3, 4, 5, depending upon the value of n. So many details will come. Okay, let me use the yes out here and maybe dash 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 to make the things look beautiful. Done. Let's go ahead and let's start reading the details here. So I'm going to say name of the students. So name of the student. I'm not going to use the ln here so that it will come in the one line. Name of the student. Let me read the name here and what is the variable name. So the variable name that I've used is the name here. So I'm going to say name is equal to, in is my scanner class here. You notice in is my scanner class, in dot next line. Next line. So I got the name. Let me read the marks in the subject. So I'm going to get the marks in first subject, second subject, third subject. So I'm going to use the S out, and I'm going to say marks in first subject, get done. Again, I'm not going to use ln here. I will use the n here. Now, generally what you will do is you have this marks m1, m2, m3. So generally what you are going to do is you are going to type m1 is equal to, in is your scanner class. You know very well in is your scanner class, and you are going to use next int. If you use the next int and if you type a wrong value, it will accept the null value. It will return the null value. It will not raise the exception of that type. Okay. So what you need to do is, in order to get that number format exception, you have to parse the value. So what is the meaning of that is you have to accept the value like a string and then convert this string into numerical value. So this is what you are supposed to do. In other words, you have to parse this number and then convert it into integer. How can I pass that thing? So you know very well, in order to pass that thing, you need to go to the boxing, that is the integer dot parse int. And here you are supposed to supply a string now. So you notice that it will accept the value as a string. How can I get the string? So to get the string, remember, usually you used to say in, which is your scanner class. In is your scanner class. You used to say in dot next int. If you say next int, it will return int. I don't want the next integer. I want a string here. So I'm going to read the next line. Remember, the return type in this case is a string. So I will read it as a string. So whatever input that is given, so whatever marks the user is, whatever the marks the user is typing here. For example, if the user is typing 15 here, I will convert that 15 into string. So I will read it as a string and then try to convert it as integer. So during this process, if the number type is not, the type here is not a numerical number, then I will get an exception saying that the number format exception. So this is what I'm going to get it. So this is slightly, you may find that, oh, what is this? Okay. This is what you're going to get it. So let me handle that exception now. How can I handle the exception? So I'm going to go here, press enter, and here I'm going to say catch, okay, catch, and I'm going to say number, NUMB, control space, number format exception. I will take the variable as e, and use the flower bracket here. Let me also put remove this one. So let's go here, and I'm going to use a yes out, and I'm going to say error, ERROR, colon, and whatever is the error, I'm going to just use plus e dot, and I'm going to get the message, get message. So that's it, number format exception. So you can get it. Now this will just show you the number format exception. So if you show that thing, you will get it as a number format exception. You'll just blindly show it as a number format exception. I'm going to just run it, and I'm going to show you what it's going to show you. And then I will make small changes. So if you run particular this place, let me just run and show you instead of explaining to you what is going to happen. We'll just run this particular thing. This is not complete, but just I'm going to run this particular half-done program. So let me say number of student is 1. I'm going to enter the details of the one student. So name of the student, let me say Ravi, and the marks in first subject, I'm going to say 20. So this is not a number. So I was supposed to type a 20 like this. So this format is not proper. So I'm going to say 20 here, which is definitely not a thing. So if I press enter, I will get an exception saying that for the input to string, error for the input to string 20. So this is what I'm going to get that message. Now this doesn't make any sense to the user. Okay. So what I can say, okay, error, and I will say invalid number format, or I can say maybe I can give a small good message. Okay, I can say invalid number format, and then for the string like this. So it will come beautiful. So I will just make the changes. So I will add error invalid number format for the input this. So let me try that thing. So I'm going to make the things beautiful. So I'm going to say error, and I'm going to say invalid number format, okay, for this thing and this one. So let's look at this one, how it's going to look like. I'm going to just run it just for the explanation purpose. I'm doing it. It is not complete, but you will see how beautifully it will look like. So let me run it. Number of student is 1. Let me type the name as say Ravi, and the marks is say 50. And now you see that invalid number format for input string. So it looks beautiful now. So this is how it is done. So this will take care of the number format exception. That is what they have said. Where is it? number format exception. This has taken care of the number format exception. Now we have to take care of our own exception class. And what is our exception? If the marks is less than, that is negative or greater than 100, if less than 0 or greater than 100, then we have to raise an exception. So let us do that particular thing. So I'm going to put one if condition over here after this. So I will say if m1 is less than 0 or if m1 is greater than 100, this is what they have said, then I'm supposed to throw an exception. So I will type it in one line itself. Then throw, I will use control space, throw the new my own exception. What is the name of my exception that I've created? Invalid marks exception. So I'm going to say throw new invalid marks exception, and I'm going to give a string here. Remember, I'm putting a message here. So this message, I'm going to type it here, and I will give a thing. Okay, marks. Let's say marks in subject one must be between, say, 0 and 100. So this is what is the exception. So I'm throwing a new exception here, saying that the marks in the subject one must be between 0 and 100. I need to handle that exception here. So I will handle it using a catch statement. So I will type a catch. Okay, and what is the name of my exception? Invalid invalid So this is invalid marks exception. So I'm going to say what is it? Invalid marks exception. I'm going to call this one as E here. So space E, that will be the variable name. Press enter and you have this variable preview. Okay, so done with that. So as usual, I'm going to just show the uh, output here. Again, I'm going to say error and just type this error and let me type it in capital ERROR colon, and then again as usual I'm going to just type E dot and I'm going to say get message. So I'm selecting it. Remember, again, I'm not typing it, I'm selecting it so that I know what has been selected is a proper thing. Let's go ahead and let's run it. I'm going to just run it and just show you how it's going to look like. So I'm going to run this particular thing. Right click and run it. So I have the total number of students. Again, I'm going to try it with one student. So one student, let me say the name of the student is Ravi. Done. So I'm going to type 105. So what I must get is the marks in subject one must be between greater than and so this is the message I'm going to get. So whatever I've typed it, I'm going to get that thing. So I've handled the exception for both of them. Now you have the last option which is there for any other type of exception. So I'm going to just use the S out and again I'm going to type ERROR and colon. This is the general exception. For any other type of exception, I'm going to say E dot get message. As usual, get message. Done. So this is exception. If you don't know, exception is the mother of all the exception. For any other exception, these two are specifically handled by us. This is handled by any common exception. Remember, very, very important thing. This must be the last one to be handled. If you, this placing of this makes a lot of sense. This must be the last one to be handled. If you place it right at the beginning, none of them will be handled because this is the mother of all. It will handle all the exception, including your exception as well as number format exception. So this exception, this catch must be the last one in the try catch block. Let's come back to the story now. This is for the first marks. What about the other marks? Other marks, we are going to do the same thing. Control C. I will select the same story. Control C from here. Control C to copy it. Select it. Control C to copy it. Control V to paste it. Enter the marks in second subject. So this is done. This will be marks 2. Done. And if the marks 2 is less than 0 and let me just remove this mouse pointer from there. If the marks 2 is greater than 100, then I'm going to say the marks in subject 2 must be between that and that. Then again control V to paste it. This is for the marks in third subject. I will call this one as the M3 as my marks 3. Again same story. If M3 is less than 100 and M3 is greater than 100, I'm going to say marks in subject 3 must be, and so on and so forth. And what is the next thing that they have asked us to do? So what they have asked us to do is they have asked us to show the average marks. So this is what, so somewhere in the middle they are saying that wait, that's the thing. Okay, calculating the average. So let's look at that one. So we will calculate the average after this. How can I calculate the average? You know very well, AVG is equal to, I will use M1 plus M2 plus M3. So all of them divided by 3.0. So this will create the average for me. And let me put the semicolon there. And then I'm going to use the S out, not A out. I'm going to use the S out, tab it, and then I'm going to put dash, dash, dash. Okay. So this will look beautiful. Okay. So that's, I think, that's enough. Otherwise it will look ugly. Then I'm going to use S out again, but I will use printf because no, you are familiar with this printf of a printf of your C program, and I'm going to say average, okay, and percentage 0.2f. You're familiar with this C program, isn't it? AVG. Now I will use /n because there is no new line there, and then again I'm going to use S out and dash, dash, dash. So it looks beautiful. Okay, maybe like this. Okay. After that, the next number, because remember this is a for loop, so I value will keep on increasing. So for the next one will come slightly down. So I'm putting 2 extra /n so that there will be some space between the first entry and the second entry. So let's give it a try. Let's run it. So I'm going to just save it first. Let's run it and let's see how it's going to look like. Okay. So you have the marks here. Let me just zoom in for you. Again, if the output is not visible, go to window and you get the option for output. So if you are not getting that, I will enter only 3 students now. The first student is Ravi, and without any problem, Ravi's marks will be entered. So he got 56, 78. So let me type 56, press enter. The first marks is done. 87, second marks is done. 99, third marks is done. There is no problem, and his average is got. And you see this, I put /n. So 2 lines extra will come here. If you notice, at the end I put this double /n. Okay, this double /n. What is the reason for that? What is it from? What is the reason for this? Is if I click on the output, you see that there is, after this average there is a wide gap here, so that it looks beautiful. Okay, I'm going to say Deepa. Press enter, and let me create a exception here. First marks is 56, done. Second marks is 99, 99, 90, 90. Okay, enough. Okay, this will create an exception because this is not a number format exception. So invalid number format for the 90, it is gone. Third student, the Sinchana, enter, done. And this time I will put the marks. First marks 45, proper. Second marks 100, no problem. Third marks is 105. Maybe say minus, by mistake, minus 67. Minus will create an exception, you know very well, because it's an invalid marks. So marks in the subject must be between 0 and 10. So you got all the 3 output there. That's all you need to do in this exercise. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the other exercise. Thank you.